Well, welcome everyone to another fantastic live panel discussion with these amazingly smart and creative and wonderful small business owners from the Enji community. We are going to be talking about the State of Small Biz report because the State of Small Biz has been stating for quite some time. And we are going to dive into some of the stats from the report that we put together that 245 small business owners from across the country contributed to. And the goal for today is to just really get a real, honest reaction from people who are living this life, right? These stats are numbers, but there are real people with real businesses that they represent. I am your host for today. My name is Tayler Cusick Hollman, and I am one of the founders of Enji. And I have all of these fantastic people joining me today. I have Dolly and Catherine and Kelsey and Amanda and Cynthia. And I would love for each of you to just quickly introduce yourselves. Let us know well, I just shared your names, but if you could let us know what your business is and where you are located, that would be fantastic. And Amanda, let's start with you.
Yeah, hi, I'm Amanda. I run Amanda Matilda Photography. I'm here in Western Colorado, kind of right in the middle of the mountains and the desert. Um, and yeah, that's me.
Catherine.
Hi, everyone. My name is Catherine. I am in New Jersey and I have a business called Francis Henry. We sell children's clothing. I have two brick and mortars, and I'm currently here in one of them today. And yeah, happy to be here.
And if at some point Catherine literally walks out of frame, it's because she had a customer
Yes. Yes,
come
that's
into the
fine.
shop. The rest of us are like nice and cozy in our own homes. Cynthia, tell us about your business.
Yeah, my name is Cynthia Onines. I am the owner of Boda Bliss. I help wedding professionals and small businesses create processes and systems for their marketing.
Amazing, amazing. And Dolly, how about you?
Hi everyone, I'm Dolly DeLong. I am a Nashville-based family and branding photographer, and then I also am a systems and workflow educator for other family photographers where I teach them about systems and workflows of marketing.
Amazing. And Kelsey.
Hi, I am Kelsey Delisle. I also answer to Kelsey Delsey because my name looks like it rhymes, but it doesn't. I've heard that my whole life, so it's all good. I'm used to it. My business is Sugar Flowers by Kelsey Cakes. I make the flowers you see like on the cake behind me. I don't do cakes, just the flowers. But I've been running my business for the last decade. I started on Etsy and now I sell to local bakeries around Tampa, where I live right now. And I ship all over the country and throughout the world if people want to pay shipping for that, which they don't these days. But that's me.
But they can. And I'm glad to know that I wasn't like one of the few people who looked at your name and immediately my brain made it rhyme because I,
Literally my whole life. So
okay,
you are good.
good. But you will always be Kelsey Delsey to me. Okay, so my first question for everyone is, like I said, the state of small biz has been stating for quite some time now. And so I just wanted to get a quick gut check from each of you and ask, did the report feel close to home? Like, did it hit close to home to you, or did you feel like you were maybe more of an outlier from some of the stats that you saw in the report? Kelsey, what was your reaction?
Yeah, no, it definitely hit close to home. To be completely honest, I don't remember what my own answers were. Like, I kind of could guess, but like, I don't remember like what headspace I was in when I answered. So just reading through the report and seeing like how many people are burned out is like, yeah, that's me. So yeah, it was really validating, just to know that I'm not struggling alone. And also just like a little bit hopeful that like there are some clues in there on how to I can make things better for this year.
Yeah. Did anybody else have the report feel like it hit very close to home? Was that
Yeah,
like the general
Yes,
absolutely.
consensus?
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dolly, did it not feel close to home to you?
I mean, I was kind of in the middle, like
Yeah.
what, because I have two sides to my business and the service space or the photography side. I've been growing steadily, like according to my accountant, by 7% every year. Thank God for her to see my numbers. And so that was reassuring. It just felt, it still feels kind of shaky more on the education online business side. So I felt stable, but then unstable, depending upon what business I'm looking at.
Yeah. And that makes total sense. And
Yeah.
I think you are the only business owner that has a B2C business and a B2B business. Am
Yeah.
I correct? Everyone else is squarely one or the other.
I'm
It's
kind
and
of
it was
both,
not on purpose.
but
It's all
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess Kelsey, you might have a little bit because other professionals can buy
right, like
your
other
sugar
wedding
flowers
vendors.
and
But I don't like consider myself B2B as much,
Mhm.
so it's like a technicality more than anything.
Yeah, yeah. But that's interesting that that Dolly you were having mixed emotions about it. And
Yeah.
that's very fair. Like all of us are, experiencing the the market and all this kind of stuff in slightly different ways. And so it's nice to know that we have a mix of reactions in the group as well. Okay, I would like to jump into kind of, it's not like the total deep end of the shark infested pool, but it's a little bit because the report showed that small business owners are working really, really hard when it comes to just like almost every aspect of their business and specifically with marketing, because that's what a lot of the questions honed in on. So effort is up, but people aren't seeing a lot of results. Like the results are not working in the same direction. And so I would like to know, I'm going to ask Cynthia and Dolly this question. Where do you think that disconnect is happening? And I'm asking the two of you this question because both of you are squarely, you have B2B, business to business
Mhm.
services. And so I think you have a little bit more insight into why business owners think that their effort is up, but their results aren't. So, Cynthia, I'd love to get your insights on this.
Yeah, I think it's mostly just because I think they're focusing on the wrong numbers. Or some people don't even know what their numbers are, so they don't know what their efforts are really going into. I work especially with the wedding industry, and based on that, everyone assumes that they need to have an Instagram account to get leads. But instead of focusing on something else, maybe a blog or things like that, they're just focused on the wrong thing without actually seeing what's working and where the effort needs to be in.
That's a really interesting point. I like that. Like maybe that business owners are not seeing their results go up with their effort because they're looking in the wrong places in
Right.
plain English. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably more true than people want to maybe admit. Dolly, what's your perspective on this?
I'm gonna agree with what Cynthia said, like just not knowing what numbers to look at, not having the data sets to compare to year after year, but also this is maybe I just am overly positive, but we are just in a time where it's so easy to create content faster because of great AI tools. And I think that might be overwhelming to a lot of people, the oversaturation, the overstimulation, the over like, there's too many choices. Where do I begin? What if I don't do the right thing? And I see that like even in my membership for family photographers, like I lay everything out for them, but yet they're like, we don't even know where to begin. This is too
Mhm.
overwhelming. And I'm like, this is just part of human nature. If we have too many choices, even though they're good, like it's overwhelming for people. And I think because of that psychology aspect, that's also what's happening.
Yeah, people are definitely overwhelmed. Like Kelsey mentioned earlier, 81% of the business owners who took the survey in September said that they had already experienced some form of burnout. And I was like, oh, but we still have 3 whole months left in the year. So yeah, like that has just been, I feel like it's been the name of the game in a lot of ways. And like you said, Dolly, like having more choices, even when choices are put in front of you, you still can feel frozen in a lot of ways. So I definitely agree with that. Okay, so Cynthia brought up numbers, which is a great segue into my next question, which I'm going to ask to Kelsey and Amanda, because one of the wonderful things, it made my heart very happy to see this. Which, quick side note, KPI Day is Catherine's brainchild because like she was one of our very first subscribers and on it was probably like month 2 or 3 and she just sent me a text and she's like happy KPI Day and I was like Oh my God, I'm using that forever. So, just quick shout out
Fantastic.
to the origins of KPI Day because a lot of people really love that. So, giving credit where credit is due. But the small business owners who actually use their numbers to make decisions are 2.8 times as likely to say that their marketing is working, which is great. And that's a huge part of the reason why I'm like, you guys, KPI Day, like, let's do this. But Kelsey and Amanda, what metric do you personally look at maybe the most to help you make decisions about your marketing? Amanda, I'd love to hear from you first.
Yeah, definitely. I think harkening back to what Cynthia said, I definitely hadn't been consistent about my KPIs before using Enji. So that alone has been a huge win for me, just knowing more information about my business. I think lately I've been really keeping track of when people were booking last year so that I know who's typically in what part of the booking and planning process as an elopement photographer so that I can better market to them where they're at. And that's been kind of my big focus lately.
That's super smart. That's very
Yeah.
smart. Do you see that there is, and this is a very off the cuff question. So, apologies in advance if I ask you off the cuff follow-up questions. You're like, "Ugh." But do you have any sort of sense of how long it takes from someone inquiring with you to actually booking? Do you know about how long that time period typically is?
That's a great question. I would say usually it's within the week.
Mm,
Um, a lot of folks tell me just off the cuff that um, they've been on my website, they've been reviewing kind of the resources that I offer there long before they do end up
mm.
inquiring. So I know that there is a lot to foster there, and I do focus a lot on my blog post content for that reason. Um, but yeah, it's usually a pretty quick turnaround for elopements, but they do
Yeah.
also book pretty last minute too. So
That's
yeah.
super interesting information for you to
Yeah.
have. And I, you know, if you know that I was just talking to someone, I think it was yesterday. I don't know. Time means nothing
Yeah.
anymore, but I think it was yesterday, and someone was saying that was I suggested that, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that would be very interesting to know." Like when someone makes an appointment at a bridal boutique, for example, which was the group that I was talking with, how long before they come back or they say like that is the dress that I'm going to end up purchasing. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that you're looking at that sort of stat. Kelsey, what's the stat that you hone in on that helps you make marketing decisions?
I think my numbers actually changed over the last year. Because
Mm,
at the beginning it was my website stats, like
mm,
how many visitors, how many unique visitors, all of that stuff. But then I realized that's like too high level and it's not actually helpful. So I've been like kind of focusing in more on like the blog posts that are bringing people in, and like I know Google and Pinterest are my highest like referral sources. So I'm like digging into like how do I take those blog posts that people love and turn them into something that like makes them actually want to work with me instead of just finding information or whatever. So I would like I don't know exactly what data that is because to me it's not like quantifiable, it's like qualitative data.
hmm.
But I guess just those pieces of like what's working and then making them work better.
Yeah, you guys will all be happy to know that Brett and I just had our product meeting yesterday. We're going to start building post-level analytics. And one of the things
Mhm.
that we're going to be building into NG is an automatic, like, what is the best Instagram post from the last 30 and 90 days? What's the best blog post? Yeah, I got y'all. I got y'all. So, yeah, I'm really, really excited because Kelsey, that's definitely in line with what you were just saying, like identifying what's the piece of content that's been actually bringing traffic to my website is
Exactly. Yeah,
fantastic.
because I was getting burned out making new content, so I'm like, how do I take the content I already have and like do something with that?
Yep, super, super smart. Okay, on the opposite end of the spectrum, okay, Catherine and Dolly, what's the no like what's the one number that you're like, oh, I ignored that for way too long, and that now that you're actually paying attention to it, you feel like it's been really insightful. Catherine, how about you?
So this is very specific, but marketing dollars that have converted from emails,
Mm,
which I know everyone can like beat the dead horse about emails and sending emails and how great an email list is. which I have been building an email list since we opened it for 5 years. It's probably sent one email to said email list.
No, you haven't. I'm
But
on your email
I
list. I
know
get your
you are now.
emails.
See, now you are, because I finally had someone join the team who decided to take it on, and that is the one number that we were like, we are going to table all of the weird things we're trying to do with Pinterest and all of the weird things we're trying to do with Instagram. We're just going to dedicate and set a schedule and do it in advance. And I mean, it's a stereotype for a reason, but when you send emails, it converts. But so that is the one thing that we were like, we will do this first. And I always felt like, this sounds so silly, but emails seem like such a waste of time because you're marketing to people who are already in your inner circle. And so, most of the time, at least for me, obviously, like, I sell clothing, so they're shopping with us. So it's like, do I need to tell them new things all the time? I would rather focus my attention on growing and new customers and kind of bringing new people in. But there's so much to be said for a warm lead. I mean, really, all of these marketing things that people are like, they tell you a million times. But it's just a nice reminder, I think, outside of, we can't control the algorithm and we can't control how people are seeing our content. But at least, even if they're not clicking the emails, I mean, we've seen a reduction in our open rate now that we send emails once a week. But still, like, an increase in buy online, pick up in store, and return customers coming more frequently. So it's like, I don't even need people to open it. They just need to see the name in their inbox, and they're like, oh yeah, I should go stop by, or I should look at the website or the Instagram. So that has been one thing that has been really great. I mean, we can always do better, but it has been at least a great step in the right direction.
That's fantastic. I'm excited to see what that revenue per email sent number ends up being over time, because that'll be a nice one to watch go up and to the right.
Yes, we love that.
That's what we like. Yes, we like up and to the right. Dolly, what's the number that you maybe ignored for a little bit too long?
Yeah, well, I don't necessarily know if this is a number, but a facet I ignored was, and I preach about SEO constantly. I feel like I just talk about it, but I was ignoring, sorry, my son is being so loud and all I can hear is him.
I can't hear him.
Okay, good. I'm like, oh my gosh, Jack, you're embarrassing me. I was ignoring my main traffic sources based off of keywords. And this is I don't know, I'm putting you on the spot. Look at me putting you on the spot, Tayler.
Here we go. Let's go.
Is there a capability for Google Search Console to be tied in with Enji yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
I will literally
type
that though. Like, I'm with Dolly. Do that.
Okay. Okay. Let me
that is something.
Email to self.
Yeah. Future self. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, future. Because I finally started digging into that this past like, I would say past 6 months. And it's really been impacting the type of content I'm creating to really bring in the right people. And then that way I can measure better KPIs, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then can I say one more thing? This is mostly for Catherine. Catherine, I have a local boutique that I shop at in Franklin, Tennessee, and they send out weekly, if not like 2 or 3 times weekly emails. And I love being on their email list because they let their subscribers know specific either specials or they have codes just for the email list. And then you can go into the store and use them. And it makes me excited, like, oh, about the January drop and then the February drop. And these are clothes for like mamas like me, like with mom bots and everything. I'm like,
love it.
Yes, I will listen to stress for months. So anyways, I want you to know, as a person who gets emails from a boutique, I'm all about it. I love it.
Oh, I love to hear that, because I always feel so concerned that we're overdoing it. I'm like, I don't want to be in there like annoying people. And I'm like, you know what? We'll do a little trickle. We honestly should up it. Like, it's 2026, I'm writing it down.
Once a week is not annoying people. If it was a daily email, then you might be able to like say, but still, Shop Good in San Diego, they send out like a daily email. I am pretty sure.
I love those emails.
And I still have not unsubscribed. I know. Like, I don't open. Yeah, I don't open all of them, but I haven't unsubscribed because I like the business. So, tale as old as time. I love that. Well, thank you for sharing that, Dolly, and thank you for the idea. I literally emailed to self Google
Okay, good.
Search Console
I'm like, I really,
integration.
I don't know if I missed that or what, but yeah, you should tie in
Yeah,
Google Search Console with Enji and let people know like, hey, these are your search terms that are coming to your
yeah,
website. Maybe create
yeah.
content for that.
Yeah, yeah. I have had SEO tool on my wish list of things to
Yeah.
build. It's very generic. So this is a nice like specific thing that I can request that Brett and I would build. Okay, so Cynthia, this question is for you. 44% of small business owners said that consistency is the thing that they know they should be doing or have, but don't and aren't. So I wanted to ask you what realistically can get in the way of consistency for you? And I know this is a little bit of a slightly personal question, but safe space, like we're all business owners. There's something that gets in the way of consistency for all of us. So I was just curious to know what's the thing that can take your marketing to-do list for the day and like put it in the trash?
For me personally,
Yeah.
it's always going to be client work. I get uber excited when I see a new lead come in and my marketing kind of gets out of the way and I'm like focused on client work and focused on the new leads. And I have to remind myself that I have a new lead because of my marketing. So I try to go back to my marketing as fast as I can.
Yeah. Do you have any insight into what keeps your clients from being consistent with their marketing?
Yeah, I think for the most part is they don't have a day dedicated to marketing. It's mostly spontaneous. They wake up in the morning and they say like, I need to post something today. They don't know what, and then sometimes it's just forgotten. And I
Hmm.
think just when I come in and help them, we set up a marketing day where we're going to focus on the three things that they need to do for that week, and that makes the consistency work every day.
Hmm. Your routine, the
Yeah.
more you know. I wish there was like a Zoom thing that if you did that, you got the rainbow behind your
Yeah.
hand. That would be nice. Okay, so sort of tied to consistency, my next question is for all of you, and it's about how much time people spend on their marketing every week. So just a quick, like roundabout fire round to start. I'd love to know how many hours on average, right? Like on average per week you spend on marketing things. So Amanda, how many hours a week do you spend working on marketing?
Yeah, I had to kind of break it down because I really prefer to kind of batch my socials, like one day a month or so. Just that way I can kind of limit how much time I'm taking. But I would say probably about 2 hours a week.
Okay. And Catherine, how about you? How many hours a week do you spend on average?
My
That's the
answer is
face.
really bad.
That's the face. That is literally the face that most people make when I ask them this question. They're like, an hour?
Well, it's like an hour, and I think that
Yeah.
might be being generous. I mean, currently, right now, it's like maybe like the minutes that I spend thinking about doing marketing in the shower is an hour, but like
Okay.
executing on marketing, probably like 30
Yeah.
minutes
That's
realistically.
okay. That's okay. I see you're on stories all the time. I see you doing
There
things.
you go. That,
Yeah.
all those add up to 30 minutes, I
They
think.
do. They do. Kelsey, how about you? How much time on average do you spend on marketing every week?
It's hard to say an average because I also have like cadences where I like go really hard on it and then when I kind of
Mm,
slow down. But I think lately, the last 6 months or so has been maybe 6 hours a week.
okay.
I've been really like focused on it, and I'm also trying to include like in-person networking as
Hmm.
marketing.
Yeah.
So like I calculated that in there,
Yeah.
as well. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Dolly, how about you? How much time do you spend?
I would say between 5 to 6 hours.
Okay. And Cynthia, how about you?
12 hours.
Nice. Okay. Okay. So I asked all that because 57% of small business owners spend 1 to 5 hours a week. And probably, like, if I drilled down, it probably skews more to the 1 hour a week, right? Like, if we count shower thinking time. And one of the interesting insights that we got is on, like, what are the things that small business owners are spending that time on? And this is, I don't think, breaking news to anyone. Most of the time is spent on creating content and social media. So, my follow-up question is, what do you spend the majority of your time actually when you're executing on your marketing things? I'm curious to know what are the like top one or two things that you are spending that time on. And we'll go in reverse order. Cynthia, what do you spend most of your time doing?
So, I actually track my time, so I know exactly. I have it broken down. I spent 4 hours on research, 6 hours on content planning and creating, and then 2 hours on community outreach.
Okay. I
Yeah.
That is the most detailed answer ever. Setting the bar very high.
Goals.
I don't even have like, I mean, I have all of my tasks, but I wouldn't be able to provide as detailed an answer as you, Cynthia. So snaps to you.
Thank you.
Dolly, how about you? What are the top couple things you spend time on?
Depending upon the week, if it's a batching week, then I spend a large majority creating YouTube videos that are later going to be repurposed into blog posts and podcast episodes. So a huge chunk is spent video content creation.
Yep, I see that. I subscribe to your YouTube channel, so I see it. Kelsey, how about you? What do you spend time on?
I would say content creation, which could either be like blog posts or even like photos, because I do take my own like product photography and stuff.
Mm,
And that's a huge driver, especially on like Pinterest, is the images. So a huge chunk of it is either like taking the photos, editing the photos, putting the photos in Canva with like pretty like text overlays. And then the new one that I've added in has been the in-person like networking events and stuff.
yeah, I bet you didn't think that as a sugar flower artist, you'd also be a photographer.
I know it's really funny. Someone was asking me the other day about opening their own online shop, and they're like, "What's your tips?" And I was like, "Better photography. Like, just learn it. Like, take a course. Like, do whatever you have to do, but product photography is what you need."
Yeah, yeah. Catherine, how about you? I know that you spend a good amount of time on stories because I look forward
Stories.
to
That's
those
like pretty much it.
stories.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like stories because I can do it in the moment and I'm standing in the building and I can do it then. I mean, I will say Katie on my team, who is a mastermind, she's the one who does our emails. So she probably spends about an hour also on emails a week. So I should say maybe with our powers combined, we're at like an hour and a half.
Yes.
So her main focus is emails. My main focus is Instagram and stories and responding to the DMs.
Yeah. Cool, cool. And Amanda, how about you? What do you spend most of your time doing?
Yeah, I spend most of it doing blog posts and then repurposing those blog posts into social media content and things like that.
Yep. All right, so everyone's pretty much in the same bucket. Like we're not spending time on ads, right? Like we are spending time creating content for the insatiable monster that is the internet. That is also the category that I fall in. It's like every other week is a social media week or a YouTube week, and then also every other week is a email marketing week. It's like, yeah, it's all of the things. And it's a lot of tippy tapping on the keyboard is at the end of the day. Okay, so I have two more questions for the group. And these ones are a little bit of the last one is I want you to like wag your finger at people a little bit, give them some tough love. But this one is a maybe more productive question. But after reading the report, is there a change that you are making to how you do your marketing or possibly even what type of marketing you're doing? And I'll just throw this to the group. Is there anyone that has something that they've changed after reading the State of Small Biz report? You can just sort of raise your hand in case.
On the
Catherine.
first.
Okay.
Yes, actually. So plans to change have not changed yet because
Yes.
we're still in the kind of funky in between in the fashion season. But I thought it was crazy where I read that people who spend over $1,000 on marketing say that it's like
Mm-hmm.
gangbusters, and anything under $1,000, which I feel like we spend like $8, $10, maybe no, we spend no dollars on ads. We started like a little
Yeah.
trickle around
Mm-hmm.
holiday. But that was such an interesting stat. And so we have decided for like Q1, which is really like our heavy season launch into spring, February, March, we are going to try to hit the 1,000. for ads or
Hmm.
hit the 1,000 or over the 1,000 to just like throw it all out there, see if
Yeah.
it works, and
Yeah.
then cut it and run if it's not working. But at
Yeah.
least
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
kind of do think it's like the trickle doesn't really do anything. And I feel like in the long
Yeah.
run we're just wasting it. I might as well just like dump it all out there at once and see what it does.
And for a retail business, like
Mhm.
the retargeting ads of products that I have interacted with, damn, that is going to get me to buy it eventually. It is going to wear me down, and
100%.
I am going to end up
100%.
buying that thing.
Yes.
So for you,
Mhm.
absolutely like experimenting with that. I'm excited that you're going to be doing that. And
Yes.
Brett and I have experimented a lot with ads. So if you ever want to, talk about
Yes,
the
please.
thing,
Yes,
we've spent
absolutely.
more money than I would like to
No,
actually say the
exactly.
number out loud
100%.
on
It's the
advertisements.
experimentation that freaks me out. I'm like, I don't want to lose money through experimentation, but I'm like, I know what business I'm in, so here we are.
Yeah, here we are. Here we are. Amanda, you raised your hand also. Is there something that you're changing after reading the report?
Yeah, definitely. And it felt a little scary at first, but seeing just how many other people also feel burnt out and just like drained by social media and reflecting on my KPIs from last year, I decided to reduce the frequency that I'm posting on Instagram this year.
Ooh,
I
that's
know.
exciting.
Yeah, I feel like it'll really help me to show up more authentically and just in more impactful ways that way to not be so burnt out.
Yeah. I've had this conversation with a lot of service providers in the NG community who are like selling services versus things. And it always makes them very uncomfortable when I tell them, like, when Tailored Media and Designs was my only business, and I got to that coveted six-figure business point, I only ever posted twice a week on Instagram, ever. Like, and I sent one email newsletter a week on top of that. And then I blogged once a month. Like that was it. Now, granted, marketing has changed. It is
Yeah.
not, you can't like get away with the exact same things that I got away with a few years ago. But, I share that with people because to your point, Amanda, like showing up authentically and not just like putting poo-poo posts out there because you feel
Mhm.
pressured to post.
Yeah.
Like your audience sees that. They see the lack of effort that goes
Mhm.
into stuff. And, you know, in the wedding industry, it's all the captions that say J plus A 2026 and like a list of vendors. Yeah, so don't do that and put more effort into the things that you do. And that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have something that they're changing about their marketing?
Yeah, I'm pretty similar to Catherine actually. The stat about the money thing was like really eye-opening because my
Mhm.
mindset has always been like, if I can do it myself for free, that's the best option. And I'm just like, oh no, that's the worst option. I need to stop thinking that way. So I'm thinking about experimenting with Pinterest ads. I am in the trickling
Mm.
phase right now where I have like a
Mhm.
dollar a day Pinterest ads going. But I've gotten a conversion from that. So like less than a month into it, that seems pretty good. And then like paying people to do marketing for me is like where I want the majority of the money to go because
Mhm.
I'm bottlenecking myself right now and it's like now that I can kind of see it in my face the way Tayler put
Mhm.
it out in the survey and also like I think you've done some YouTube videos about it. Like I can't like I can't afford to not spend the money basically.
Mhm.
So that's what my big goal is for 2026 is like how can I rearrange my expenses so that there's more going to marketing and less going to like whatever shiny new
Mhm.
software or like course or
Mhm.
whatever. It's like that money needs to go to like a contractor or somebody who can really take it and run with it because I
Mhm.
cannot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And blogging has always been the first marketing thing that I have outsourced personally
Right,
because
that's
it
actually the
does.
one that's like at the top of my list right now.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
that's good to
And
hear.
Dolly and I both outsource our blogging to the same person.
Yes, I believe she's also the
So
person I'm talking to right now. So
good.
yes, yes,
Great.
yes.
Shout out to anyone watching the replay, the
Perfect.
Kara report, Kara
Sarah
Duncan.
report. Yes,
She's going to be
yes.
working with 50% of this panel. So
There you
she
go.
is your woman. But
Yes.
that's that, yeah, being a bottleneck. And I know that spending $1,000 a month on marketing is not a small number. especially if you are a solopreneur. That number can make you go like, and feel very uncomfortable. But there was a solid 8% that were spending nothing. And then it's a total of 75% of people who took the survey that are spending under $500 a month. And the takeaway from that is that means you have to create mountains of content because that is the only, other than like networking, that's the only form of free marketing. But none of us have exorbitant amounts of time to create said mountains of content. And so there is this, combination of actions and sort of structure that you can put around your marketing that does put you in a position where you have the time to do good work. You are not a bottleneck. You are feeding your marketing what it needs to thrive. So I'm glad that that's been a takeaway for everyone. So my last question for you is the tough love question, because I know y'all know, maybe Amanda's just getting to know me, but the rest of you know me pretty well. And I am all about just saying the thing, regardless. I mean, with soft kid gloves on, but I want people to not just continue to do the same old thing. So I am curious to know what you would tell the small business owner who reads the State of Small Biz report and just goes, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Like, if it ain't broke, which it is broke, I ain't gonna fix it, right? So Amanda, what would you say to that person if in just a
Yeah,
couple sentences?
definitely. And I feel like I'm speaking to a past self in a way too. But you're just going to keep spinning your wheels, You're going to question what you're doing, why you're doing it, and you just don't have to.
Yeah, I like that. You don't have to. Cynthia, what would you say to that person?
I would say that if you're not treating your marketing like a client, you're wasting your time. So if you're not showing up for your marketing, you're not getting paid. And just the same way as if you don't show up for your clients, you won't get paid.
I like that. I like that a lot. Dolly, how about you?
I mean, Cynthia just like took the words out of my mouth. I was like,
You guys share a
yeah,
brain.
yeah, you really do have to treat your marketing like a client. You have to prioritize it.
Mhm.
Like just like if we don't prioritize our health, like our health goes down. If we don't prioritize our relationships with our spouses or our partners, those go down the drain. So we need to prioritize in a healthy way our marketing for our businesses because we have to like get new leads and promote and be okay with promoting ourselves. Be comfortable with that. That's an uncomfortable thing for a lot of people, and we just have to get uncomfortable promoting ourselves.
Hmm. I love that. Kelsey, how about you?
Yeah, so I would say if you are taking the time to read this report in the first place, like you know something's wrong and like use that to like
Yes.
put a fire under you. Like, don't keep, lying to yourself that everything's fine. Like
Mm.
something's, tickling the back of your brain to say like, hey, I should try something new. And like what do you have to lose? Like if you're not happy now, like let's try something new, together. Like we're all trying something new this year. So
Mic drop moment. I like that one a lot. I like it a lot. Catherine, the last word. What would you say?
Last word. This is advice that I need to give to myself that if it's not on the calendar, much echoing much
Mm,
of what others have said, if it's not on the calendar, it's not going to happen. I mean, especially if you work in an environment like I do, where it's like I don't book clients who come in. Sometimes we'll know some of our big shoppers who are coming in, but for the most part, we're just accepting people at all times. And so the days go by in a blink. And if I don't have it on my calendar, like, okay, Tuesdays, I need to do a website audit. Wednesdays, I need to sit down and actually like kind of decide what I'm going to think about posting. It's 1000% not going to happen. And kudos to Taylor. I just have Taylor here in my brain at all times. Thinking about how she batches things and writes things down that she's going to get done during the day. And
Yeah.
I've really gotten away from that. And I will say it shows.
Well, we just need to go back to Catherine and I used to work at the same startup together. That's how we first met. And we shared a desk and
It's the
those
best.
were some really great days,
Great days.
totally different lifetime. But yes, like Write it down. And I'm like, write it down in pen, y'all.
Yes.
Not
Write
pencil,
it down.
pen. So then you have to have like an ugly scribble if you're moving it around, and then aesthetically your planner looks like crap. No one wants that. So
Yes.
that's my
And then
approach
don't
on it.
overschedule. Don't
And don't
overschedule
overschedule.
also.
Yes,
You're
don't
not going to plan
overschedule.
your year in one day.
No, no. I love all that. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for being a part of this panel. I love this conversation so, so much. Catherine had to bounce because customer clearly just walked into her shop. But for the rest of you, I'll let you all know if you want to connect with Catherine. Her Instagram is at Shop Francis Henry, and her boutique is filled with the most adorable, hard to find brands here in the US. She curates things from around the world and they're just so cute. But Amanda, how can people get connected or stay connected with you?
Yeah, my Instagram is Amanda Matilda Photos. That's probably the best place. My website is Amanda Matilda Photography.
Amazing. And Cynthia, how can folks connect with you?
They can find me at bodabliss.com, also bodabliss on Instagram.
And Dolly?
For photography at Dolly DeLong Photo, and then education is Dolly DeLong Education.
Wonderful. And Kelsey, how about you?
My handles are all at Kelsey Cakes, except on TikTok, it's Sugar Flowers Casey, I think. But I don't post there much. So Instagram or my website's probably where I'm the most active.
Cool. I think that's all of us. Instagram or our websites. We're
Yes,
not
I'm too old for TikTok. I know it.
Same. I tell people I log on every 11 days just to see. So don't try to have a conversation with me on TikTok. But seriously, thank you so much for taking this time to have this conversation and for being a part of the Enji community. Each and every one of you are very special humans to me. I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of their day. Thank you so much for watching this live or watching the replay. And if you have questions about the State of Small Biz report, it's linked in the YouTube replay of this, so you can dig into all of the numbers that we talked about. But I will see you all around somewhere on the internet. Bye, my friends.
Bye.